Hillary Clinton appeared on Face the Nation on Sunday. It was her first Sunday show appearance in nearly 4 years, and she called for the U.S. to lead the world in helping Syrian refugees. At one point, John Dickerson asked about her efforts to show voters who she really is.
Your friend, the late Diane Blair, wrote in her diary, quote, on her deathbed, Clinton wants to be able to say she was true to herself and is not going to do phony makeovers to please others. So knowing you don't want to engage in phony makeovers, give us 3 words that is the real Hillary Clinton. Just 3.
Just 3? I can't possibly do that. I mean, look, I am a real person with all the pluses and minuses that go along with being that. And I've been in the public eye for so long that I think, you know, it's like the feature that you see in some magazines sometimes. Real people actually go shopping, you know?
All right.
CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson is with us. Good morning.
She got a kick out of the question.
She did get a kick out of the question. It really was a great interview where you covered a lot of policy as well in that interview. But first, I want to ask you, a new poll out this morning shows Hillary Clinton's campaign bouncing back essentially a wide lead over Bernie Sanders nationally.
Right. So that's probably good news for them over there. The polls, every poll story has been not so great news. And so it shows basically that she's got a big lead. And, you know, the other thing she can say is that she might have turned the corner. That she's been going through all of these different interviews, and that they think is helping with these numbers.
So how did she do yesterday, her first live interview on your program?
We'll have to see how the polls, you know, respond to this. This is a part of a strategy, right? It's a rollout of her in a more longer interviews, different kinds of conversations she's having. And the goal here, and the reason I asked the question at the end there, is to present a different side of her and give voters something to grab onto, because they're obviously grabbing on and hugging Bernie Sanders.
I wonder if she gets tired, John, of people wondering if she is a real person. I think she sits there and goes, but I am real, which is what she said yesterday.
Some people looked at that answer and said that's the way a normal person would react to a goofy question like that. You know, they would say, like,
wasn't a
stop.
goofy question, no.
But, you know, that Diane Blair quote comes from when she was First Lady or running along with Bill Clinton. So it is this thing that has been, you know, dogging her, and your response is the one that she has and that a lot of politicians have, which is that the authenticity of campaigns is a little artificial.
On Syria, John, she took some issue with the Obama administration. I thought this was interesting. She called the effort to train fighters in Syria a failed program and said that some of what she had suggested had not been, what she worried would go wrong, had in fact gone wrong.
Yeah, it's like, I told you so, basically.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting. But she said she wouldn't totally scrap the train and equip program of Syrian rebels, which they appear to be ready to do in the administration. But that was notable that she said basically if they'd followed what I had wanted, which was to train and equip some time ago, we wouldn't be facing what we are now.
Is Joe Biden any closer to getting into the race this morning?
We have these reports that his wife is on board if he decides to run. The Biden family bubble is described to me as somebody who works with him says they've never seen anything like it. So if she's on board, that's the bubble of the family. I'm sorry, the bubble of the family. They are so tight. It is such a unit that this isn't just about a single man. And so his wife being on board is a part of that unit. And so you would think that would maybe suggest he's a little closer, but closer to a decision.
If you're Joe Biden's campaign right now and you see Hillary's numbers strengthening now, how do you react to that?
Well, I think as I've been talking to people, every time Hillary Clinton's numbers get weaker, they say, well, I think maybe he's more likely to get in. And so you would imagine the opposite might be true, because it's going to be a hard run if he decides to run. And if it looks like she has righted the ship, and we don't know if she has, that would make it more difficult.
Great interview. Thank you.
John Dickerson, thanks.